Ahoy there, Captain Benzie here, coming at you with something very different for today's video. Now, don't worry, I'm not about to quit Eve Echoes anytime soon. Seriously, that's not happening. But I do play a lot of other mobile games, and I do sometimes just want to take a few minutes to sit and talk about those. Maybe you guys will find something that you really enjoy and might be worth trying out, and I do want to branch out eventually, just to have a couple of bits and pieces here and there, and who knows, maybe eventually one day I'll open up a second YouTube channel for just like Captain Benzie Mobile Gaming or something. The actual dedicated gaming galleon like it used to be. Now, today I wanted to talk to you guys about Dead by Daylight Mobile. This, if you don't know, if you're not aware of the game, is a 4v1 asymmetric PvP game. 4 people play as survivors who are stuck in a trial, desperately trying to repair generators to escape and using all kinds of other tricks and that to stymie the killer, and 1 player plays as the killer, desperately trying to knock them all down and sacrifice them to an unknowable entity called the Entity by hanging them on meat hooks. It is every bit as gory and fun as that description hopefully makes it sound. Now, a couple of years back, Dead by Daylight announced that they were twinning up with Silent Hill to release some new content, and if you know anything about me, you should know that I'm a massive fan of the Dark Souls and Bloodborne games, and Silent Hill and Resident Evil. Those are some of my favourite video game franchises of all time, so I literally lost it when I saw that Pyramid Head was going to be coming to Dead by Daylight. And here we are now. You can see I've got Pyramid Head, the Executioner, here on screen, with Cheryl or Heather behind him at the moment as my survivor of choice. Now, the unfortunate part that was missing, though, was the map. Ultimately, when it launched on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, you had both the Executioner, Heather, and Midwich Elementary School as the map. Unfortunately, the mobile version, for some reason, did not get Midwich Elementary until literally yesterday. So that's why I want to jump in now and just talk about this, showcase this map, my love for Silent Hill and my love for Dead by Daylight Mobile, both kind of coming together here. I play this a lot with my wife. She's a big fan of it too. Well, she's just a mad fan of all horror in general. So when you've got a game that, if we just jump in quickly and have a look at some of the characters, for example, for the killers, some of them may look strangely familiar, like, for example, it's not quite Jason from Friday the 13th, but the Trapper's not far off. Obviously, you've got things like Ghostface from Scream. Then, of course, there's a load of unique ones as well here, like the Doctor, the Spirit. I actually do quite enjoy the Doctor, although a lot of people will tell you he's for the noobs. Plus, we've got people like the Pig from the Saw franchise, but of course here we have the Executioner from Silent Hill, who is just absolutely badass. And yeah, I know I'm a little bit behind here. We've just had the Freddy Krueger update for this as well, but it is the Silent Hill stuff that I want to be talking about in today's video. So what I'm going to do is go and jump into a game, and if I can get a match that is on Midwich Elementary School, we're just going to sit and talk about the game, and I'm going to show you some footage of me trying to kill people as the Executioner. So if you do enjoy this video, let me know by hitting a like on it, sub to the channel for all things mainly Eve Echoes, but there will be a few bits of like mobile gaming around here and there as well, and let me know what kind of games you think I might enjoy, and etc. in the comment section below. Seriously, if you do enjoy this video, please let me know, and I will make more on some other games as well, not just Eve Echoes. I might even push something to, you know, start a little mini-series on Saturdays or something. If you do want to go the extra mile to help support this channel, you can do so either by joining us on Patreon or by checking out our merchandise store on Redbubble. That all said and done then, let's jump right into a match here with the Executioner and see if we can't get Midwich, and we'll talk about how cool this game is and why I love it so much. And here we are. Amazingly, I actually managed to get it first time, although I say that it's partly also because I did use the item that actually directly influences which environment you might get. So here we are in Midwich Elementary School, which is of course the main Silent Hill environment, and I've already spotted a couple of the survivors. When you're playing as the killer, you'll see that survivors leave these sort of claw marks as they run around and do things. And then you whack him like that. You'll see he now gets a few seconds of running off while I recover, and I can chase him down. Now, when you are chasing as a killer, you do get to zone in a little bit, and you'll find that actually, yeah, okay, this guy's obviously either trolling or just being an idiot. I'm not sure which, but we are going to, no, wrong button, not use my ability. This guy hasn't been tormented, so I have to pick him up normally, like so. And now I need to take him to a hook, and I can hear that there's someone nearby who is trying to use a flashlight to see if they can, yep, do that and basically help the other person escape. That's a Billy. That's Billy from Stranger Things. If you've watched the Stranger Things series, you'll know who that is. Our Dwight has run off somewhere. I'm not sure quite where he's gone, and I need to find where that Billy's gone. Oh, there he is. There's the Dwight. Okay, and I haven't even had to use my main ability yet with Pyramid Head. You're going to try and loop me. And I'm just going to hit you in the face with that because, you know, that's the nice, easy, fun way to do things. I'm going to pick you up. This time, I don't think Billy's going to be able to get us with a torch or dropping a pallet on our head. It's just not going to work. I am keeping him behind me because if he shines that torch on my face, I do get briefly stunned and we'll have to drop it. So I'm going to pop up here. I'm going to drop our Rites of Judgment. And we're just going to turn around and do our big effect there. Nope. Poor old Dwight. This Billy is just not a great one at all. So not Billy, Steve. Why am I saying Billy? It's Steve. Steve from Stranger Things. He's desperately trying to get in my way. He's standing there in front of me. Unfortunately, there goes Dwight. Second hook. He's now immediately in the situation where he's going to be knocked down on the next hit. Oh, he'll be dead on this one. There we go. Steve, really no idea what you're doing here. You are an absolute idiot. But hey, there we go. We're going to move around and... Nope. I missed him. There we go. Oh, missed him again. Ugh. Did I get him that time? It's kind of hard playing without the volume on here because obviously I've got my microphone plugged in and my microphone actually takes my speakers off, which is really, really annoying and awkward. But there we go. Anyway, so we're going to go back here past Dwight. Poor old Dwight getting an absolute raw deal off the Steve here. We're going to hang Steve up. He's now in phase 1 of being munched by the entity. We're then going to grab our Dwight here. And we're going to find somewhere to take him. See if anyone's going to try and come to Steve's rescue. Don't think so. I can get some explosions going on here, which means there is someone around in that area. Doing something like hiding in a locker for too long or completely failing at a generator. This is not a great team I'm up against. Kind of disappointing that this is what I've got here. But there we go. Wonder, can you do the destruction here like you could in... Yes, you can, like in the PS4 version. You can knock some of these doors down. So somewhere around is another player doing their thing, and there goes Dwight. Unfortunately, he has been hung up. That is his third hook, which is going to kill him. So we're going to drop some more of our trails here. See if we can't find some of these other survivors. Now, I've got whispers on here as well, which is what the little ear icon in the centre of the screen is. You can see that saying that, you know, oh, hang on, there's someone nearby. And it starts to glow a bit brighter if I'm close to a survivor. It's an easy little perk there to help you track people if you're still learning a particular killer. Now, do we have... No, and possibly upstairs then. You get these quite big open maps for you to explore and try and find where your survivors are hiding. And these orange generators, these are what they need to complete. There are 7 of these in the environment to begin with. As the game goes on, they should be aiming to complete those generators. Once they've completed 5 of them, the exit gates will be powered. And once the exit gates are powered up, they can open the exit gates and run off to freedom. Obviously, in that time, I need to try and catch them. One hit will sort of stun them. The second hit knocks them down. The third hit... Well, no, the third hit? No, once you've knocked them down, you pick them up and you take them off to a hook to hang them up and do your thing. Now, here you can see I'm actually having a bit of trouble finding these guys. I think we've had 2 players who have just kind of come in and trolled the team so hard that the other survivors are doing everything they can just to avoid me completely, and I think they're hoping for the game to just end. There we are, scratch marks. You can see someone's been running through here. There we are. It's another Dwight. Let's use our ability. Let's see if we can catch him at some range with this. Nope, missed, because I'm terrible. Absolutely terrible. There we are. Hi, Dwight. I can see you. Think you're running away from me. Not today. There we go. That got him. through the wall. Basically, Pyramid Head has an ability where he can sort of stab his sword into the ground, and it leaves these rusty, sort of barbed wire trails behind him. Now, those trails themselves, if a survivor happens to touch one of those, I get a brief notification that the survivor is there, and if I then knock that survivor down, rather than having to drag him all the way to the hook, I can stab him and send him on his merry way to a special cage, which is somewhere around the environment. So what I'm going to do here is drop those rites of judgment so that anyone who's trying to come here and rescue our dear poor Dwight is going to hopefully have to step on those, and if they have to step on them, there's every possibility that I'll get that little notification saying, hey, they're over here, and it gives me an easier way to find them and to sort of deal with them. Every killer has their own abilities. There we are, it's a generator that someone has actually successfully completed. Somewhere around here, I can see we're getting close. Just trying to find where they're hiding. Trying to find where this person's hiding. They're clearly not coming out to rescue their friend, which means they're hoping that, like, at the end of all this, they'll be the last person, and maybe they'll be able to jump out the special magical hatch that appears. Wrong button. So I'm going to break this pallet which was dropped on me. Of course, you can drop a pallet on someone's head as well, as a way of impeding the poor old killer. Having a pallet dropped on your noggin is not fun. You drop anyone you're carrying and you get stunned for a few seconds, so it's an easy way for people to make an escape. Yeah, I have no idea where this other person is. They are clearly abandoning the poor old Dwight here, who's just hanging on the hook there. Just hanging there now, waiting to be sacrificed to the entity, whilst I go off hunting. And I'm just not finding them. Just not finding someone. Are you hiding in a locker? No. Are you hiding in this locker? No. You are trying to run around currently, because the Whispers is going in and out of range. You may be on the upstairs floor. You're certainly more around this way. Now the hatch has spawned because there's only one survivor left, and it is open because there's only one survivor left. The hope here is that I can find the hatch and close it before our other player can. Our other player is clearly upstairs and is making noise now to trigger me to come up there and find out what's going on. This is usually an indication that that survivor has found the hatch, and they're just making as much noise as possible to basically troll you and say, hey, I'm up here. So I'm going to head over this way. We are going to... Oh, hello. I can hear some noises. Other side of this door. There's our hatch. Nope, we're going to close the hatch and stop that person escaping. Now, I know that they're up here somewhere because they were making noise. Just got to find them and stop them opening those exit gates. Now, the exit gates do take a little bit of time to power on, and clearly my Whispers is telling me they're close to this exit gate. So I am going to move over this way. I need to find a way to drop down. There we go. Find a way to drop down and make sure this person isn't powering up this exit gate. They're near to here. They're definitely nearby. There we are, so we can see from the Whispers. If I start going this way, you see the Whispers fade away. It means they're not over this side, but I'm going to just come over this way anyway, just to be sure. Nope, and you can also see there are lights on top of the switch there, which do power up over time. Now, I did want to spend a bit of the time here actually talking about Silent Hill as well, because it is a franchise that I absolutely adore. It is one of my favourite survival horror franchises. I'm big on my survival horror in general. I think it's you know, it's a fun game, fun genre to sort of scare yourself stupid. I'm not a big fan on the overly gory, over-the-top, ridiculous ones. So like Outlast was a bit much for me. But I do quite enjoy like the classics like Resident Evil and Silent Hill. And this guy is being really tricky to find. I think he's just going to end up getting sacrificed because he's got no idea really what's going on. This is sadly then quite a dull match to showcase. But yeah, Silent Hill. Silent Hill I really enjoyed as a game. The first one back on PlayStation 1 had me absolutely hooked. Then the second one came along, and of course I know everyone, there's that whole trope that everyone loves the second one most. And it's true for me. It's one of those games that really actually, I struggled to finish it. I had a real tough time finishing the first Silent Hill. sorry, Silent Hill 2. Like, there were sections of that game that really I found quite upsetting and difficult to deal with, and I don't know where this guy's gone, but he has now been sacrificed there by the entity, unless he's disconnected. Now, there we are. No one escaped. So there's our little group. I thoroughly enjoyed Silent Hill 2. As I said, I think it was genuinely the best. It had some really, really cool environments and story to it. Obviously the bits with Pyramid Head were awesome. There's the whole bit. Just, it was silly little things, like obviously as you get towards the end of the game, and spoiler alert here if you haven't already played it, as you're going through the prison section, you find that there is a toilet door, that if you knock on that toilet door, nothing happens, but then as you walk away, it knocks back. That alone terrified me. And then there's a courtyard, and as you walk around this courtyard, lit only by your little torch, there is the sound of like horse hoofs galloping around, and I was terrified of what this new horse enemy was going to be, and I genuinely spent 10-15 minutes scouring this little tiny courtyard, trying to find out what the hell this enemy was that was trying to kill me, only to realise it's just a sound effect. Like, literally nothing going on there, just a sound effect. It was one of the most terrifying games I've ever played, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Anyway, so this is Dead by Daylight. You've now seen me playing as the Executioner. You've seen a basic bit of gameplay as to what's going on there. I do have, woohoo, a daily ritual there. I can claim some of the rewards. Anything else here? Oh, hit 8 survivors with the Torment attack. Nice. I've got a couple of those, which is quite nice. Yeah. It's a really cool game. It's completely free to play, and whilst you do start with a basic amount of killers, as you progress through the game, you start earning up the currency. The currency then allows you to buy the other killers. Now, licensed ones, like for example here, the Nightmare, with the Executioner, the Pig, any of the ones that are recognisable faces from horror films tend to be for these what are called auric cells, these golden ones. Now, these are purchased only with real money. But all of the other killers, which again are people like, for example, the Doctor, if I pull him up here, which is really cool, one of my personal favourites, badass guy who electrocutes people. You've got the Trapper, obviously you start with him normally, the Plague who vomits over people and makes them ill. It does take a while to load in some of the textures, which is a little bit disappointing. It's one of the few things I do hope the game does get, but still graphically that's still fairly impressive, I feel. The Oni is another new one that was added recently. He's been on PC and console for a while, but he's finally come here to mobile. Massive guy who's all about being bloodthirsty. These are all available with the standard currency that you earn through standard gameplay, and so you can really quickly unlock a lot of these, and I actually find you unlock faster on mobile than you do on PC and PS4. I've also found that the queue times are shorter on mobile than they are on PC and PS4. I can't say about Xbox One because I don't play on Xbox One. This genuinely is my preferred way of playing Dead by Daylight, which I know sounds crazy because it's a mobile game, am I right? But yeah, there we are. And of course you've got all the different survivors as well, and they all get their different outfits, different costumes, etc. that you can put them in. Like here, for example, I've got Kate in a really cool biker chick outfit. And the reason you go with different characters is because they can teach you different perks. Any of the survivors can earn any of the perks at any time. So you then just go in through your little menu, and you choose what you want to take in. So do you want to take like a toolbox and some things that will help you repair generators faster? Do you want to carry in a health kit which will allow you to heal yourself and other people faster? And then what perks you want to do. Like here on Cheryl, I've got one that triggers when the killer is looking in my direction. That's the cat one there. One where I can see anyone who's hooked, so I know who's hooked and where they've been hooked. The one that looks like a detective looking at a notice board there on the left, if I stay stood upright, when the killer's nearby, I start to get little bonuses. And the top one here is from Stranger Things. This is one that Nancy can teach you. If I hide it in a locker, I can heal myself. And it's just all kinds of really cool stuff like that. It's a really in-depth game. There is a lot going on here. It's great fun, and it's completely free. And I think I've rambled on about it entirely too long now. I think you guys hopefully have an idea. I love having Midwich Elementary now in mobile. I've got my favourite killer, my favourite survivor, and now my favourite map has made it to mobile as well. There's a few maps still missing on mobile compared to on the other PC and console, like for example the Gideon meat processing plant from Saw. The Pig is another one of my favourite killers. I really enjoy playing as her, so having Gideon meat processing plant, the game, would be really, really cool. One of the killers, interestingly enough as well, Just quickly before we finish up, as I said, we've got Steve from Stranger Things and Nancy from Stranger Things. We also have the Demogorgon from Stranger Things, and there is theoretically the map of Hawkins' lab. If you've watched the 3rd season of Stranger Things, you'll know the underground lab. You get that as a map in Dead by Daylight, but it's not here in mobile yet. Soon to come, eventually. Until then, I'm going to be running around as the Executioner and Cheryl, hoping to get Midwich every time we drop in. Please load in the texture. There we go. Otherwise, folks, let me know your thoughts and opinions. If you do happen to play Dead by Daylight Mobile, please let me know in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to add you to my friends list, and we can jump into some games together and have some fun. I play with my wife fairly frequently. You know, we have a lot of a good laugh and playing as survivors, or occasionally I'll hope that I get her when I'm, you know, IQ as killer, and I hope I get her as survivor. It has happened. But yeah, let me know if you're playing. I'd love to friend up and have a bit of fun with you guys as well. Anyway, folks, thank you for watching this one right the way to the end. Happy sailing, and see you in the fog!